Hey guys, here we are at the end of another week. This is going to be an absolute power weekly wrap up because I've got to be in the city in 25 minutes. Here we go. I think first off, I'm going to focus on the VC landscape, particularly around the transparency that is starting to come out from the venture capital community here in Australia. What do I mean about transparency by the VC community? What I'm talking about is conversations that I have every week with founders about not knowing what investors are looking for. Some of the ways that founders hear about what investors are looking for is they go to conferences, they go to pitch nights, they read a lot of articles. And what we saw led by Blackbird earlier this year is when they released the Blackbird process, what their process is when they're undergoing due diligence with a company. So why am I bringing this up in this weekly wrap? Well, Rampersand this week released what they're looking for in an investment and what their process is. I think this is great. I think it's so important for our ecosystem. I think it's even more important for our founders because time is the most precious resource and this helps. Everyone's got a shitload on. There's no point wasting time. There's no point going to meetings that are irrelevant. So well done Blackbird and well done Rampersand. Second topic for today is around accelerators. You would have seen early this week, Mamilla, the finale, Thriller in Mamilla took place and there's been a few more announced this week. The one I'm going to touch on is Slingshot. They've announced the first Australian Indigenous accelerator to promote entrepreneurship. And Slingshot have also announced the first HR Tech accelerator, which is a very, very hot space. If you've seen the HR Tech Lumascapes, there are many multi-billion-dollar companies. The boys from Vinomofo, after raising one of the biggest capital raises this year, $25 million, are taking the world by storm. True to form and true to their word, they've said they're going to roll out market by market a light version of Vinomofo. They did New Zealand last month. Then they did their epic advertising campaign and now they've said they're launching in Singapore next month and they've started investigation into the US of A. These weeks are going way too quick. Every time I wake up in the morning, it's another Friday, it's another weekly wrap. So what I'm about to tell you may have come up last week or maybe just this week. And that is that after the FinTech Australia conference that took place a few weeks ago, the federal government have given them $200,000 to promote FinTech globally. I think this is great. I think it's an area of the Australian ecosystem that we have the opportunity to dominate based on the dynamics happening here in the FinTech space. And the team behind FinTech Australia, the government bodies now supporting them, I think that we have the opportunity to really make a dent on the global scale. So well done, guys. All right, I don't think I'm going to get to the city on time, but we'll try and smash this out. I've only got a few more things to update you guys on. You know, there are lists. I've spoken about it before. This week, Job Advisor has announced the launch of this year's Cool Company. The Coolest Company Awards by Job Advisor has only been going for 3 years. Last year, Canva won it, and in 2016, they've done it again. Earlier this week, I did my first walking tour of Melbourne via Snapchat on the train, tram, city, South Bank, Crown. Bloody hell, I was everywhere. My last snap when I got back home after a full day of meetings throughout Melbourne, I asked you to screenshot if you wanted to see more tours, and it was interesting to see who it was that actually screenshotted. So I'll give you this little tip. Everyone who lives in the most livable city in the world didn't do a screenshot. All my interstate and overseas followers. It's Global Entrepreneurs Week this week. Tonight we're having a party with Melbourne startup community with Stripe, Vinomofo, OneStack and Deliveroo. Hope to see you there. See you next week.